reputation of the business in the market. Okay. And on account of the goodwill or the name and the reputation, a firm is in a position to generate more profit or revenue. Okay. After that, I've discussed the various methods by which goodwill can be valued. So valuation of goodwill, when it comes to the valuation of goodwill, we have how many methods are there? Do you remember that? Primarily, it is classified as the average. We have the average profit method, right? Average profit method. Then apart from this, we have the weighted average method. Then other than weighted and the average, after that we have the super profit method also, right? And then there is a method which is called capitalization method. Is that correct, everyone? Everyone is able to see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
All
Sir,
right.
I joined late. Can you explain it again?
Okay, I have just told the student that in the last class we were talking about the meaning of the goodwill, and in the last session, apart from discussing the meaning of the goodwill, then we also discuss the valuation of the goodwill, wherein we have discussed various methods by which goodwill can be valued. There are primarily 4 methods are there: average profit method, weighted average method, then we have the super profit method, and then capitalization method. And I'm sure that all of you remember that capitalization method is further divided into 2 parts, right? How many methods are under the capitalization method?
2.
2, and which are?
Capitalization average profit method and capitalization by super profit.
Correct. Okay, so right now in our class, we were just discussing about the average profit method. How do we calculate profit by average? How do we calculate the goodwill by average profit method? So let me give you a quick recap of this method. Under this method, we have just discussed a formula: average profit method. Here I have told you that there is a formula by which goodwill is valued, which is the average profit, right? We take the average profit and multiply it with the number of years purchased. Most of the time, these values are already given in the question, and sometimes average profit is not there. Then in such a situation, we will have to find the average profit. So number of years purchased and multiply with the average profit, we will get the value of the goodwill. This is the first method by which goodwill can be valued. There are other methods as well, but we will discuss few more questions based on the average profit method only. And in fact, the entire class of today will be dedicated to the calculation of the goodwill by the average profit method. So in the last session, I guess we have done 1 or 2 questions based on this method already. So I guess we did question number 55 in the last class, right? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
And I think after question number 50, I gave you one question for your homework, right? Question number 51 is the question I gave you for your homework. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So all of you did this question?
Sir, I have a doubt.
You have a doubt, okay? Tell me.
Sir, the loss, do we don't calculate that, or what do we do?
We will be taking into consideration. Loss will also be taken into consideration, but obviously in the 2017 we have a loss, so we will, instead of adding it in the total value, we will be subtracting it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, anyways, if anyone have not completed it, so let me just solve it quickly for all of you. Just a minute. Solving question number 51. Solution to question 51. So in this question, we need to find out the value of goodwill, obviously by average profit method. So we will multiply the average profit with the number of years purchased. Number of years purchased. Okay. So in this question is asking us to calculate the goodwill on the basis of the average profit of how many years? Average profit of how many years? Average profit of, see, it is written in the question that we need to consider the average profit of 5 years, right? Average profit of 5. That means we have to find out the 5 years average profit. Is that correct, everyone? Everybody is clear about this point?
Yes, sir.
And the number of year, how many number of years purchase that we need to consider? 3
3.
years. Okay. All right. So let's just first of all calculate the average profit. So for finding out the average profit, what we will do, we'll make a working note here. Working note. And this is how average profit will be calculated. First of all, the profit in the first year was in the March 2020, profit was 8 lakh. So 8 lakh. Then in the next year, the profit was 15 lakhs. So we will add 15 in 8 lakhs. Then in the next year, the profit was 18 lakh. All this is given in the question. I'm not writing these values on my own. All of these values are already given in the question. But in the March 2017, instead of having a profit, we have a loss. So in the year 2017, when there is a loss, we will be subtracting the loss. Until now, we were adding all these values, but in the year 2017, since we have a loss, so therefore I am going to subtract it. See, in the question, you can see in the year 2017, we have a loss of 4 lakh. So therefore I am subtracting 4 lakh. And after that, in the next year, 2016, we have a profit again of 13 lakh. So I'm going to add this value plus 13. Okay, then we will divide the entire amount by 5 years, since these are the profit of 5 years. And this is how we will be able to find out the average profit of 5 years. Am I clear, everyone? So all we need to do is calculate the total of these profit. Let me do that. 8 lakh plus 15 lakh plus 18 minus 4 plus 13. So total is 50, and when we will divide it by 5, we will get 10. So 10 lakh is the average profit. 10 lakh is the average profit. Is this clear, everyone? The calculation of average profit is clear to all of you, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now simply we will put the average profit here in our main calculation, 10 lakhs. And then multiply it with the number of years purchased. Question already tells you how many years to be taken as the number of years purchased. So question is telling you that we need to consider 3 years. So we will multiply it with the 3 years. So the goodwill in this
30
situation
lakh.
will be 30 years. This is the solution for the question number 15. Okay, I hope this question is clear to all of you. I have given this question in your homework. And now we will move to the next question, everyone. If anyone is still writing, please let me know so that I can wait. Otherwise, we will move to the next question. Tell me if everybody is done.
Sir, can we note it down?
Yeah, do it quickly, please. Done, everyone? Do it quickly now, please. All right, everyone. I'm moving to the next question. Question number 51 we did in the, I gave you for the homework. Okay. Okay, now we will be discussing question number 52. So this question is saying that Anu, Baby, and Chetan are partners in a firm, sharing profits and losses equally. They decided to take deep into a partnership. Sorry, deep into partnership from 1st of April 2020 of for 1/5 of shares in the future profit. For this purpose, goodwill is to be valued at 100% of the average annual profit. 100% of the average annual profit. Okay, 100% of the average annual profit. We need to calculate. We have valued the goodwill as the 100% of the average annual profit of the previous 3 years or 4 years, whichever is higher. Okay. The annual profit for the purpose of goodwill for the past 4 years were given to you. For the March 31st, 2020, it is 2,88,000. Then in the next year, it is 1,81,200, and then 187,200, 253,200. Calculate the value of the goodwill. Okay, so this is the question, guys. There are three partners, right? Anu, Baby, and Chetan. They are admitting one more person as their partner, which is the name of the new partner is Deep. They are entering him for the 1/5 of share in the future profit. Okay, so this is completely irrelevant for the valuation of the goodwill. Keep that in mind. This point is completely irrelevant for the valuation of the goodwill. We are not concerned for how much share the new partner is entering into the business. Right now, we are only concerned about the valuation of the goodwill. So this point is completely irrelevant. Now, the relevant point is start. It says that for the purpose of goodwill is to be valued 100% of the average annual profit of the previous 3 years or 4 years, whichever is highest. So question is saying that we will be valuing the goodwill as the 100% of the average annual profit. And average profit of how many years? Average profit can be taken as the average profit of the 3 years, and you can also take the average profit of the 4 years, depending upon whichever is higher. So first of all, we will have to find out the average profit of the 3 years. Then we will be calculating average profit for the 4 years. Then we will decide which average profit is higher. Average profit of the 3 years is higher, or the average profit of the 4 years is higher. And accordingly, we will calculate the goodwill on the basis of the higher value of the average profit. Tell me, am I clear to all of you?
Yes,
This
sir.
statement is clear. Okay. Now, for the purpose of calculating the average profit, what is given to you? We are provided with the profit generated by the business in the last 4 years. Okay, all right. So everything is there in the question. All we need to do is to find out the goodwill. So let me solve it for you. Just a minute. Just tell me if the question is not clear to anyone. Question is clear to everybody? Abin, Hiba, Khushi, Mariam, Saif,
Yes, sir.
Ayan. Okay, very good. All right. So let's start with the calculation. So as usual in this question as well, question number 52. Question number 52, we will be calculating the value of the goodwill. Goodwill. Now, question is saying that we need to value the goodwill 100% of the average profit. 100% of the average profit will be considered as the goodwill. So 100% of average profit will be our goodwill. So see, generally the formula for the goodwill is average profit into number of years purchased, right? We have to multiply the number of years purchased with average profit. But since this time question is directly saying that we need to give 100%, we need to consider 100% of the average profit as the value of the goodwill. So this time in this question, the number of year purchase is not relevant at all. 100%. First of all, we will find out the average profit, and then we will simply find out the 100% value of the average profit. That's it. I hope this is clear to all of you. Now, for the purpose of finding out the average profit, we will be preparing the working year. Now, see, this is very, very important. Which average profit shall be taken for the purpose of valuation of the goodwill? Question is saying that average profit can be calculated considering the last 3 years profit, consider the last 3 years profit, or consider last 4 years profit. Last 4 years profit. Whichever will be higher, that average profit will be taken here. So this basically means that for the purpose of finding out which average is greater, whether the average of the last 3 years profit is more than the average of the last 4 years profit, for that purpose we will have to calculate the average profit for in both the situation. We have to find out the average profit of the 3 years as well as we have to find out the average profit for the 4 years also. So let's calculate the average profit for 3 years and 4 years. Let me show you how we will do that. So first of all, I am calculating average profit of last 3 years. Average profit of 3 years. So for finding out the average profit of 3 years, what we will do, we will take the value of the profit of the last 3 years. So let me show you. The profit for last 3 years is how much? It is 2,88,000. Correct?
1,81,800.
Correct. That is right. Perfect.
Until 1,87,200 we will take.
Yeah, correct. So for calculating the average profit of 3 years, we need to consider the profit till the year 2018 only. So 2020, 2019, and 2018 will be taken into consideration. So let me show you how we will be doing that. So first of all, 2,88,000. Then in the next year, it was 2,81,000. So 1,81,800. And then finally in the last year, 187,200. 187,200. And divided by 3 years. This will be the average profit of the 3 years. So let me show you the average profit. 288,000 plus 181,800 plus 187,200 divided by 3, you will get 2,19,000. 2,19,000. This is the average profit of the 3 years. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you. Now we will calculate the average profit of the last 4 years. Let me show you the calculation here only. Average profit of 4 years. So for calculating the average profit of 4 years, we will be taking 2,88,000 plus 1,81,800 plus 1,08,000 space plus 1,87,200, and the profit in the last year was 2,53,200. 253,200. So 2,53,200, and this time we will be dividing it by 4 years. Okay, and this is how we will be able to find out the average profit. 2,53,200 divided by 4, we will get 2,27,550. 2,27,550. Tell me everyone, the calculation of average profit is clear to all of you or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir,
Yes, okay.
clear.
Now tell me, which do you think is higher? Average profit of the 3 years is greater or the average profit of the 4 years is greater?
Sir, average profit of 4 years.
Perfect, correct. That is right. So therefore, for the valuation purpose of goodwill, which average profit shall be taken into consideration? The second, the average profit of the 4 years, obviously. So now, therefore, I'll write down 2,27,500 here, so 550, 2,27,550, and then we will multiply it with 100%. So the 100% value of the 2,27,550 will remain 2,27,550. This will be the answer. Is that correct, everyone? Any doubt? Hiba,
No
Khushi,
doubts.
Mariam. Okay, Dhruv Dhruv just joined. Okay, no problem, Dhruv. Dhruv, we are discussing the valuation of the goodwill, the topic that we started in the last class, and we just completed one question from the today's class. So we just discussed question number 52. So no worries, even if you are joining late, you won't be having any trouble understanding anything. Just note everything down. This was question number 52. Just note it down with you. Anybody having any problem understanding anything, please let me know.
Sir, first we have to calculate the average profit for 3 years and average profit for 4 years. Then
We
we
will
have
decide
to
which average profit is
check where
greater,
which is
higher.
the highest. Yeah, which one is the highest we have to check, and the highest one will be the average profit, and we have to take 100% of that.
Correct. We do not do such calculation every time. Since the question is saying like this, so therefore we had to find the average profit for 3 years and for 4 years. So depending upon the question, calculation will vary. Is that clear to you? So the requirement of the question for this question was that we have to find out the average profit for the 3 as well as for 4 years, and whichever's average profit is clear higher, that will be taken as the average profit for the valuation of the goodwill. See, here it is written, the 100% of the average annual profit of the previous 3 years or 4 years, whichever is higher, will be considered as the value of the goodwill. Done, everyone? If anyone is still writing, do it quickly. Let me know when you guys are done.
Done, sir.
Everybody done?
Yes, sir, done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, everyone. Now we will discuss one important point here, and then we will do a few more questions based on the valuation of goodwill. But let's just understand the meaning of the profit. See, what we were doing until now, that every time we need to find out the value of the goodwill, right? Every time we were calculating goodwill, we were finding out the average of the profit, right? We were doing the average of the profit, and then we multiply it with the number of year purchase. That is what we do every time. But now we will understand how profit is calculated, how profit will be, or which profit will be taken into consideration. So for the purpose of calculation of the goodwill, we need to consider the value of the normal profit. Just a minute, let me show you. The calculation of profit. How do we calculate profit? So if profit for the purpose of calculation of the goodwill, how profit will be calculated for valuing the goodwill. See, for finding out the normal profit of any business, what do we do? For finding out the normal profit of the business, what do? We take the entire value of the profit. First of all, we take the entire value of the profit, whatever the profit given in the question. We take that value, and out of the normal profit, we subtract all the abnormal incomes or gains. All the abnormal incomes are subtracted out of the profit, considering, see, abnormal incomes are considered as if they are not a regular source of income. Abnormal income are considered as the non-operating incomes or the irregular incomes, and therefore it is considered that such income should be subtracted. Abnormal income are considered as the non-operating incomes, and therefore it need to be subtracted out of the profit in order to find out the normal profit. If we want to find out the normal profit, whatever the profit, let's suppose the profit given in the question is 5 lakh, and then there are few abnormal incomes that we added in the calculation of the profit. So in order to find out the normal amount of profit, we need to subtract those abnormal profit. I'll be telling you which incomes are considered as the abnormal income or the abnormal profits. But let's just first of all keep that in mind, that in order to find out the normal profit, we will be subtracting the abnormal incomes or the abnormal profits. So let's suppose for the time being, abnormal profit is 2 lakhs. Okay. So profit minus abnormal income. Also, we need to add the abnormal expenses. Abnormal loss. So this is the formula for the normal profit. Amount of profit, subtracting abnormal incomes, adding abnormal losses. This is the formula for finding out the normal profit of a business. Is that clear, everyone? Whatever the profit given to you in the question, you will be subtracting the abnormal incomes and then adding the abnormal losses. And this is how you will be able to find out the normal profit. Am I clear to all of you? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the question arises, sir, what kind of incomes are treated as the abnormal income? I don't want anyone to write anything. I'll be giving you, I'll give you some extra time to note down everything, but just focus on understanding the things. So what incomes are considered as the abnormal incomes? So abnormal incomes are incomes such as rent received. Rental income are considered as the abnormal income because these are considered as the non-operational or non-operating incomes. This is considered as the incomes which is not generated by the business from the main source of the business. So whatever the income that a business is generating from the non-operating activity is considered as the abnormal incomes. Okay, so sir, what are the non-operating activities? See, whichever is the main business, whatever is the main business of a main activities of a business are considered as the main source. For example, let's talk about a general store. What is the main activity? What is the main business of the general store? Selling the goods to the customer. This is the main business of a general store. But let's for the time being, let's suppose that the salesman of the general store is earning income, number one, by selling goods to the customer, and number two, by selling old furniture. So tell me whether he will be generating income from both the activity, yes or no? Obviously, sir. If he sell good to the customer, then also he will generate some income. If he sells old furniture to some person, then also he will be generating some income. But please tell me, which income will be considered as the operating income of this person? The income that he generates by selling the goods, or the income that he generates by selling the old furniture? Which is the main source of income?
That
Income
selling, getting
by selling the goods. Perfect.
selling the goods, yes.
Or if he says that he receives income by selling the furniture also, then what we will say, we can simply say that this is obviously your income, but this cannot be considered as the operating income or the main income. Therefore, we will consider it as the abnormal income. So income that arises from the main source of business, main activities of the business, are considered as the normal profit or normal incomes, and income other than the main activities or the main source will be considered as the abnormal incomes. So rent is the abnormal income, since the rent is not considered as the operating income for a business. Other than rent, we have the bank interest as well. If bank is giving you interest on your deposit, this is also not your main source of income, therefore abnormal income. Similarly, donation, if you are receiving donation from some entity, donation is also considered as the abnormal income. So these are few examples of the abnormal incomes. Other than the rent, bank interest, and donation, there are various other incomes also which are considered as the abnormal income. Like let me tell you one more. Let's suppose you have sold an old furniture. So by selling old furniture, you receive some profit. So it will be considered as the profit on sale of asset. Profit on sale of old asset. This will also be considered as the abnormal income. All right. So these are your abnormal incomes. So we need to subtract all these income out of the profit. Similarly, if there are abnormal losses, such abnormal losses should be added. Like for example, if there is a loss by fire, if fire occurred in a premises and due to such fire, the business has to suffer some loss, that loss is not considered as the operational loss or the operational expenses, operating expenses. Therefore, we are adding it back to the profit. Earlier, considering it as business loss, we have subtracted it, but now we realize that the loss by fire is not the regular expense of the business. It is owing to some kind of accident. So this is abnormal loss, and such loss will be added back to the profit to find out the normal amount of profit. Similarly, apart from the loss by fire, we have other losses also, like loss by theft. Okay, or you can say the loss on sale of asset. All these are considered as the abnormal losses. So what we need to do in order to find out the normal profit, we will be subtracting the abnormal incomes, adding the abnormal losses in the amount of profit to find out the normal profit. Tell me guys, is this clear to all of you? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's come back to the PowerPoint. See, calculation of normal profit. So here I have explained that normal profit is calculated by this formula: profit minus abnormal incomes plus abnormal losses. And sir, what do you mean by abnormal income? So these are few examples of the abnormal incomes. Generally, insurance claim received from the insurance company is also not the operating incomes. These are also non-regular and non-operating incomes for the business. Rent received by the business is also non-operating. Bank interest, donation received, profit on sale of assets. These are all abnormal income. These are not considered to be the regular incomes of the. So every income which is not regular, every income which is not arising on account of the regular, which is not arising from the regular source of the business, will be considered as the abnormal incomes. And all the expenses which is incurred which is not connected with the regular business of the firm are considered as the abnormal expenses or the abnormal losses. So such abnormal losses include loss by fire, loss by theft, loss on sale of asset, compensation paid to employee on account of some kind of accident, loss on account of natural disaster. These are all the abnormal losses. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes.
So guys, I'm giving you 5 minutes. Quickly note everything down. Start writing from this slide, calculation of normal profit. Do it quickly. Let me know as soon as you're done. And then we will move to the next slide. And after that, I need to discuss few questions based on it. Yeah, Mariam was saying charity. Yes, correct. That is right, Mariam. If our firm is receiving a charity or donation from government or from some any other entity, then such incomes are also abnormal incomes. Done, Evan, Alexander.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, done.
So the next slide, Girish.
The next slide. This is the next slide. These are few abnormal losses. There can be other abnormal losses as well, depending upon the question, but for the time being, just write 5 abnormal losses. We will have few more when we will discuss question. You will be able to see that there are more expenses, more losses that can be categorized under the abnormal loss. Done, everyone. Okay, I'm moving to the next slide. Let's talk about a few questions based on this concept. So I'm continuing to question number 53. All right, everyone. So this is the question. Question is saying that Divya purchased Jyoti's business with effect from 1st of April 2020. Okay. So profit shown by Jyoti's business for the last 3 financial years were, okay. So in the year 2017-18, profit of 1 lakh have taken place, including an abnormal gain of rupees 12,500. Then in the year 2018-19, profit reported by the business was 1,25,000, but it also include abnormal losses of 25,000. 2019-20, the profit was 1,12,500, excluding 12,500 as insurance premium on firm's property now to be insured. Okay. So first of all, just keep that in mind. Insurance premium is a regular business related expense. Insurance premium is considered as the normal expense for the business. All right. Now see what question is saying. Question is saying that you need to find out the firm's goodwill on the basis of 2 years purchase of the average profit of the last 3 years. Okay. So question is pretty simple. We need to find out the average profit of this business. Sorry, we need to find out the goodwill of the business considering the average profit of 3 years based on 2-year purchase. Okay. But you will face few difficulty while calculating the average profit. Okay. So let me just solve this question for you. But before that, just tell me if the question is clear to you or not. Everything in this question is clear or not? Question is pretty simple. Divya is purchasing Jyoti's business. The profit of the business is given in this question. Profit generated in the last 3 years by this business is 1,25,000, 1,12,500. But question is saying that the profit include few abnormal gains and few abnormal expenses, and obviously we need to adjust those expenses and incomes and accordingly find out the normal profit, and then we will be able to find out the average profit for this business, and accordingly we will be calculating the goodwill of the business. Okay, so I hope everything in this question is clear since no one is asking question. So I'm moving to the solution part. Solution to question 53. So we need to find out the goodwill. So goodwill equals to goodwill. What is the formula for goodwill by average profit method? Sir, average profit.
Average profit multiplied by number of years of purchase.
Perfect. Average profit into number of years purchase. So are we already clear about the number of years purchase? How many years
2
be
years.
taken as the number of years purchase? 2 years.
2 years.
That is already given in the question, that 2 years to be considered as the number of year purchase. So here I can simply write down 2 years. All we need to find is the average profit. As soon as we found out the average profit, we will be able to find out the goodwill as well. So for the purpose of finding out the average profit, as usual, we will prepare a working note. So the calculation of average profit, how we will be doing that? See, first of all, we will have to find out the normal profit. Only then we will be able to find out the average profit. So normal profit for the year 2017-18 year profit given. So for the year, Okay, so in the year 2017-18, firm generated a total profit of 1 lakh, right? Is that correct? This is what question is telling us. Normal profit for the year 2017-18 was 1 lakh. Is that right? Everybody is clear about this point?
Yes, sir.
But question is also saying, say, everyone is able to see the bracket instruction. It says that including an abnormal gain of 12,500. So abnormal gain of 12,500 is included in 1 lakh. Now tell me, in order to find out the normal profit, what do we need to do? Out of 1 lakh, 12,500 needed to be subtracted, or it requires to be added? 12,500. Tell me. In order to find out the normal profit for the year 2017-18, what do we need to do? We need to add the 12,500 or need to subtract it?
We need to subtract it.
We need to subtract it, correct? Since it is abnormal gain, which is already included in the profit, this is what the question is saying. So therefore, in order to find out the normal profit, we will be subtracting. So after subtracting 12,500 from the 1 lakh, we will get 87,500. Is that clear, everyone? Is this clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Normal profit for the year 2017-18 will be 87,500. Similarly, normal profit for the next year 2018-19. See, the profit given in the question is how much? Profit given in the question is 1,25,000. Is that right, everyone?
Yes, sir.
But that is calculated after charging the abnormal loss. So tell me, guys, how do we deal with the abnormal loss in order to find out the normal profit? In order to find
Sir,
out
we
the
have
normal profit,
we can add.
we have to add it, correct? So 1,25,000 is the profit. 1,25,000 is the profit. That is calculated after subtracting the abnormal loss. But for finding out the normal loss, normal profit, we will be adding the abnormal loss subtracted earlier. So we will add 25,000. Abnormal loss will be added. So the total profit, total normal profit for this year will be 1,50,000. Am I right, everyone? Is this correct, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
similarly, for the year 2019-20, question is saying 1,25,000 plus 25,000, we got 1,50,000. And for the year 2019-20, the profit was 1,12,500. 1,12,500. 1,12,500. And question is telling us that this exclude 12,500 as insurance premium. I have told you that insurance premium is what? It is the normal expense or the abnormal expense. I just told you that insurance premium paid for the insurance of the property is always considered to be the normal expense of the business. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now tell me, for calculating the profit of 2019-20, whether we have considered this insurance premium which is paid for the insurance of the building or not. We haven't taken this value into consideration, right? We excluded 12,500 earlier. While calculating the normal profit for the year 2019-20, we did not consider 12,500 of the insurance premium. So now, as we know that it is the normal expense of the business, so what should we do now? Whether we should subtract it or not?
We have to add it.
We should add it.
Yes,
On-
because it's the normal expense.
Okay, so what do you think, normal expense should be subtracted or not?
Sir, subtracted.
It should be subtracted, na?
Because
See,
it's excluding, sir.
1,12,500 is the profit that we have calculated without subtracting such insurance premium expense.
Sir, if they write including, we have to add it.
If it was included already, then we won't be required to do any treatment for this. But since it is saying that such expense is not yet included, that means we need to subtract it.
Yeah, exclude means not include.
Yeah,
We have
correct.
to.
So that means we will be subtracting 12,500. 12,500. Now, after subtracting 12,500, the normal profit for the year 2019-20 will be 1 lakh. So just simply add all these values. Total profit will be, you will get the total profit 1 lakh plus 1,50,000 plus 87,500. The total profit will be 3,37,500. Is it clear, everyone? The calculation of normal profit is clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
now we will simply find out the average profit. Lakh 37,500 divided by average profit of 3 years. So divided by 3 lakhs. Which will be 1,12,500. And now we will take this value in our formula 1,12,500. 1,12,500 multiplying it by 2, we will get 2,25,000. This is our solution. Note it down quickly, everyone. Anyone having any trouble understanding anything, please let me know. Done, everyone?
Yes, sir. Done.
Done, okay. So I hope everything that we discussed in today's class is clear to all of you. Primarily, we discussed the calculation of the normal profit. How do we find out the normal profit? So for finding out the normal profit, what do we basically do? We subtract all kind of abnormal incomes out of the profit and add the abnormal expenses or the losses. This is how we will be able to find out the normal profit, and accordingly then we, based on the normal profit, we find the average profit. So if anyone having doubt, please let me know so that we can clear those doubts. Otherwise, I'll give you one question for you homework. So Hiba, Khushi, Mariam, and Ayan, do you guys have any doubt? Anybody want to ask anything? Alexander, Abin. Mariam,
No
have no
doubt,
doubt.
sir.
Okay.
No,
Hiba,
sir,
please
no
let me
doubt.
know if okay. All right, everyone. So there is one question I'm giving you for your homework, and this is almost similar to the to this question, question 52, 53 in fact. So this is question number 54. This will be your homework. Please take the screenshot of it. Question 54. Done, guys? Done, everyone? Okay. And let me check if next question can be done. Yeah, okay. Also take the screenshot of question 55. These two will be your homework. Question 54, 55 will be homework. Everything in these two questions is pretty similar to the previous question that we just did, question number 53. You will find this question very similar to the previous question. So guys, this is it for today's class. Thank you so much everyone for taking this session. We'll see you in the next class on Sunday. Till then, all of you take care. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir. Bye.
Hello, good evening. Halima, you there? Halima, am I audible?